Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, love bugs. It is your favorite motivator's favorite motivator, Mimi the Motivator. And we're about to get started. So go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that share button. Let people know that your favorite motivator's favorite motivator is on. And let's get this party started. Yes. I am so grateful for you all being here. Today we have a wonderful guest in the building that I'm super excited about because she is on the lineup for Get High on Motivation Live 2022, Happy, Healthy, and Wealthy. She is new to the lineup. She's new to my life, and I'm so grateful that I have been blessed with her presence. I met her somewhere recently where I was on stage, and this lady wowed me. Before I got on stage, I was almost discombobulated, but I can't get too excited about it yet because we got to share our food for thought, and then we will bring her on screen so you can see what I'm all excited about. So today, our food for thought comes from Maya Angelou. Now, she has a lot of powerful words, and we all have our favorite quote. But today, I want to share one with you because we are in Black Future Month, better known as Black History Month. But it says, in all my work, what I try to say is, as human beings, we are more alike than we are unalike. We are more alike than unalike. Now, it is easy to find differences with anybody. It doesn't matter if they're in your family, if they're at your job, if they're in your organization, or just somebody at the grocery store. There's easy to find differences. But what if we took some time to see how much more we are similar to people? What if we figured out what we have in common with people versus identifying immediately what's different? It's those differences sometimes that kind of set us off track because we may not understand, because we may not have an awareness of what someone is doing. Have you ever been somewhere and heard somebody talking in another language and you're wondering like, well, what are they saying? Who cares? If we looked at their body language, we would know what they're saying because body language speaks louder than words anyway. That's even when we are dealing with somebody that we don't like, that is unlike us, it will come out in our body language. So it's important that we focus on what do we have in common with the people in our lives? What do we have in common with the people in our workplace? Because finding those commonalities builds alliance. It builds a bond. It builds camaraderie. So stop paying attention to the differences and pay attention to the sameness. Because I bet there's somebody that you're going to meet within the next few days that looks completely different from you, but that has a very similar story. Our paths are parallel, people. And no matter what we look like, no matter where we came from, what country, what city, what block, we all have something in common as human beings. We have a sense of belonging, which means we want to be a part of something. We want to be a part of a group. We want to be a part of a family or organization. And that's natural. So don't think that you're being a sheeple or a follower because you want to belong. Belonging is a very natural thing. As humans, we desire love. We desire attention. Even me, I'm a loner and I am okay with being in this place all day, all week, all month, all year by myself. But I still desire interaction with other humans sometimes, and that's why I do have to get out of the house. When we have those interactions with other people, we learn things. We learn things about the world, but we also learn things about ourselves. You never know what's really in you until you encounter a situation. So I want us to all pay attention to when we are out there in the world and we are encountering people who are different from us, whether it is because they look different from us, they speak a different language, they practice a different spiritual path. There's all kind of differences we can name. They make a different amount of money than we make. None of that is important when we get to the core of being a human being. And when we lead with being a human being, which means to me leading with my heart, I will operate differently. I will make decisions differently. I will respond to life's happenings and the people in my world differently. And that's what I want to invite you all to do, is start paying attention to the sameness in everyone that you come in contact with. When you encounter them, look beyond the surface level and look within and see what's in their heart and judge them on what's in their heart. Or better yet, don't judge them at all. Accept them, honor them, And when you find there is some difference, honor the difference as well and use it as an opportunity for you to grow, for you to expand, to become wiser, to become bigger. Because if you're tuned into this show, it's some rules around here, okay? In case you didn't know, rule number 1, if you're listening to this show, you have to be committed to becoming 1% better in one area of your life. And today, I am hoping that area has something to do with gratitude, because I got the queen of gratitude in the building with me, Miss Kat. All right, Kathleen Saltmarsh-Voss. It's a long name. She's got a long name like me, but I love to call her Kat. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So Kat is all about the chapter after. Okay, Kat had what she calls an involuntary life edit, which we will talk about. I love that. She had an involuntary life edit, but it has not stopped her. It has transformed her, is what I have learned about her. And I think today's conversation will transform you as well, so that way you can create your chapter after. Kat, good morning. Oh, we don't have volume. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we can get you some volume going. Oh no, are you muted over there possibly? Oh my goodness. Let's see what we can do. Well, hold on for us, love bugs, while we get our technical schmecknicals together. So what I'm going to ask you, Kat, if you don't mind logging out and logging back in and see if it gives you something with the microphone. And in the meantime, I'll keep our love bugs occupied until you get back, okay? All right, so I want to give you a little background on Miss Kat. So like I said, she's going to be one of our speakers this year at Get High on Motivation Live. If you have not gotten your ticket, what are you waiting for? We got VIP tickets available, whether you are virtual or in person. If you're in person, you really in for a treat, because you get to rub elbows and stuff with our guest speakers. You get to have some food and some drinks and be grown and really just be away from the crowd. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't shop the vendor market, because we will have a vendor market. I'm excited about some of our vendors. I'm excited about all of them, but there's some that got me excited and got my stomach excited too. So I definitely want to make sure that you all get your tickets. Go to Eventbrite and check out Get High on Motivation Live 2022. It is a phenomenal experience. This is our 3rd year in a row putting on this show just for you, because we know that personal and professional development is expensive as crap. So what we have decided to do is to make that either free or at a very low cost, so that way we can pour into you. Because if you're ready to smash your goals, if you're ready to become the heavyweight champion of your life, then you need to be with us Saturday, February 5th at Get High on Motivation Live 2022. Happy, healthy, and wealthy. And even if you can't catch it live, please believe you'll be able to catch the replay. So let's see if we have some volume. Kat, do you have volume? No, we still can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh. So listen here, love bugs. This is what we're going to do. We're going to come back to you later, and we are going to get her some volume going, because this is a very important conversation. So, oh, I hear something.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now. Yay! You going outside.
It was a miracle.
Yes. Well, I am glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. We're glad.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, and thank you for being patient with the technology, and thank you, love bugs, for being patient with us today. Good morning. So how are you feeling this morning, Kat?
I'm feeling great. I love getting up early in the morning and getting things accomplished. And so I've been up for a couple hours now, and I feel ready to hit it. I've done my power pose and I'm ready to go. So.
Ooh, what kind of power pose do you do?
I do the Wonder Woman power pose. Yes. For 2 minutes, and I'm in the right place to go forward. So
I never thought about doing it that long. Do you stand in the mirror?
Sometimes I stand in the mirror. Oftentimes I just stand in front of my desk, because that's what I'm the queen of, is what's at my desk.
I love that. I'm going to have to start doing that. When I get in here, I am going to put my pose on first before I touch the computer from now on. Thank you so very much. Yes, I love a power pose. It definitely transforms you. Mm-hmm. I always put on my power pose when I get on stage. You know, if you ever see me on stage, first I'm gonna throw my imaginary cape back, like in my head. There's a big long cape, okay, with a big M on the back, like it's in a Superman diamond. because I'm motivated. I'm a superhero. So it's my superhero cape, and I throw it back and I put my hands on my hips, and it definitely gets me in the mood. I do know that. It gives you power. And gentlemen, know that you don't have to be Wonder Woman. You can choose your own superhero character and stand like that character and get it in for 2 minutes like Miss Cat does, so that way you can start off from a powerful place. Okay, so I want to give a shout out to Miss Kim Connor, who is also in the building joining us this morning. She is also on the speaker lineup, so you definitely want to get in the house to see her, because she will be talking about how to use other people's money to live the lifestyle you desire. Okay, so make sure you are signed up for that. But today we are talking about protecting your gratitude. Now, for me, Kat, I start my day with gratitude. I have a gratitude journal every morning. And if I don't do it, I know there's a difference. Why do you think gratitude makes such a difference in our lives?
Gratitude makes a huge difference because it changes everything in our system. It puts you in a place where you're seeing so much more of what's good. And sure, there's things that happen that aren't so good, but your focus is on the good. And so more good happens because you're seeing more good all the time. And having that sense of gratitude is really almost like a preventative medicine, because you don't know when you're going to actually need it, when it's going to change your life. But if you're always doing it, then you're already in that place and ready to move forward when something does happen to you that's life-changing or less.
So let me ask you, where did you learn about gratitude? Who deposited this into your spirit?
I'm very lucky because I was raised by a mother who was always grateful. She's been journaling since she was in high school, and still has all of her journals and everything. And she was just always talking about how important it was to be grateful for things. Always, always, always. And so I learned that, and it was almost like breathing for me as I was growing up, just to always be looking for the good, and be intentionally grateful for those things. And then when things have happened through my life, and I don't have complaints. I've had a great life, and I look forward to a lot more. But when things did happen to me, I was so in that right place to be able to not just push forward, but flow forward.
So I'm over here digging around because I want to show something to you all. So I'm going to find it and I'm going to share it with you, but just not yet. So hold on tight. So let's keep talking about this gratitude. Why is it important that we express gratitude? What does it do for you?
When I express gratitude, it puts me in that place of positivity. It puts me in that place of power. It puts me in that place of having the mindset of something, of truly great things. And when I'm sitting and expressing my gratitude, or doing it on paper, or doing it in an email to somebody else, then I'm in my best self at that point. And why not try to stay there all the time, which is the goal.
Why not try to stay there all the time? Write that down. Why not stay in the mode of gratitude all the time, or as they call it, the attitude of gratitude? So this lady is such the queen of gratitude. She has a gratitude journal, y'all. A gratitude journal that you need in your life so you can start writing your chapter after. Get a gratitude journal. Whether you use this one or start your own, I definitely highly recommend this one. It is the bomb. I have showed it to a few people and they have tried to walk out the door with it in their hands. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to give one of these away at the show for sure. Because everybody's trying to put their little motley paws on my gratitude journal, but gratitude is life-changing for me. I'm going to tell you where I really flex my gratitude muscles. When I get upset. When I get upset with somebody, especially, I get my pen and my paper out and I write their name at the top and I write down everything I can think of that I'm grateful for about this person, with this person, something they've done for me, something I've witnessed that they've done for someone else, any transformation, any blessings that I've witnessed through them. I write it all down. And by the end of the list, 9 times out of 10, I don't feel angry anymore.
Mhm.
It removes that emotion from me
Mhm.
because I know that my emotions, they're guided by my feelings, but they're also mixed with my thoughts.
Mhm.
And my thoughts I can control. I might not be able to control my feelings, but I can control
Mhm.
my thoughts and their influence on
Mhm.
my feelings, which becomes emotion.
Mhm.
And this is how, me personally, this is how I come back down, because
Mhm.
it's just as excited as y'all see me smiling, I get just as excited in the wrong way as well,
Mhm.
and I have to be mindful of that, because when
Mhm.
you're a passionate person, you're a passionate person, whether
Oh
it's
yeah.
for good or passionate because I'm about to bite your head off. But
Yeah.
that gratitude always gives me a reset with that person.
Mhm.
And it is my go-to. I don't know if you've ever tried that before. Tell me, how do you use gratitude the most?
So I'll tell you one real life-changing experience with it was I had my accident in 2017, which I'll talk about more and at the program. And my ex-husband, I was divorced, and my ex-husband was always still my emergency contact and everything. We were still really close. Well, after about a year and a half of him constantly driving to my apartment to check on me after my accident, because if I fell on the floor, I couldn't get back up again by myself. So after all that, he said, why don't you just break your lease and move back into the house? And then I know you're okay every day. Well, after about 6, 8 months of that, we were really not fighting, but we just didn't like each other very much. It was very negative there. And I just knew that I had to change something. So I started writing down, similar to what you've done, Mimi. I started writing down 3 things about him every single day that
Yes.
I was grateful to him for. And so obviously in doing that every day, I started to look for those things more. And obviously my attitude changed as well every day. Well, he was being treated differently, so his attitude changed. And
Mhm.
then I believe it was 5.5 months later, we got remarried. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we always loved each other, but I don't think we could stand each other for a while. And now we actually like each other too. So
That is such a beautiful story. Thank
thank
you
you.
so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing us. Love bugs, do you see how gratitude can change your life? She changed her life more than 1%. She changed their relationship more than 1%. It almost sounds like she did a whole 100% overhaul.
Definitely. Mhm.
This is the power of gratitude, and this is why we must protect our gratitude.
Mhm.
So let's talk about that. How do we protect our gratitude? How would you say?
I think that it's a muscle that you have to exercise constantly. And by constantly, like you said, I mean starting your day with it, ending your day with it. You don't have to sit and write things down, but just to lay in bed and say, wow, I'm so grateful for. And, you know, um, 8 or 10 things that happen in that day that you can be grateful for. And the more you do that, the more that conversation is going to get longer and longer because you're just programmed to be seeing those things and not programmed to or not seeing those other things that maybe subconsciously we allow ourselves to kind of get programmed to with life and just how how jaded life can get at times. You don't have to get jaded with it, but if you realize that you can turn that around pretty quickly by just starting to focus on gratitude. And you'll just it'll be just like it pops out at you all the time. Those
Yes.
things were probably there before, but you're seeing them now. Mhm.
Yes. What
Mhm.
I'm hearing is I'm thinking about default modes, because very often our default mode is not happy, it's not grateful. But I'm considering, what if my default mode was being grateful?
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
would change everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I got my 1% better. I don't know if y'all got y'all's 1% yet, but I got my golden nugget that I am taking with me for the rest of my day, for the rest of my life. Okay. That gratitude is so, so important. So let's talk about this involuntary life edit. How
Yeah.
did you even come up with this term?
I think that I was Well, during, quarantine, I watched all of Netflix and all of Amazon Prime. And on Amazon Prime, there was a show that I discovered, and actually, I think it had been around for a while, but it's called The Home Edit. And it's where two ladies, I think they're in the Nashville area, they go in and they help people organize their closets and kitchens and different things like that. And it's kind of life-changing for those people. Because they also work with them to get their attitudes, in a good place and everything to be able to continue that. And so in thinking about that, I just became, everything was an edit, change this, change that. And so my involuntary life edit was when on June 3rd of 2017, I was run over by a race trailer. And so obviously it was involuntary. I didn't lay down there for it. But it was taking what, life brings you, and not just making the best of it, like I'm such a Pollyanna or anything like that, but finding true meaning. And for me, when that happened, I realized, I was laying on the ground still waiting for the ambulance to come. And I was so grateful for the people that were standing there with me. It was, it was kind of incredible. And then, and I was so uncomfortable because I was the leader of this group, and here I am laying on the ground and they're taking care of me. And it was just I love to be a caretaker, but I'm a very awkward patient. So, yeah, so it wasn't, I would say it wasn't my best moment. But it was like, wow, I can't, this stupid thing happened to me, but these people are just jumping up and taking care of me and helping me. And then when the ambulance got there, they got me on some strong drugs immediately. And so then life really got good. No, there are a lot of points of the recovery, which has been a little over 4.5 years now, that I don't have a huge memory of, because I just realized very recently, and I will talk about this on Saturday, about trauma and what trauma does to you. But you don't have to let it take over you. You're stronger than the trauma, but there is real factual effects of trauma. And there are things that, sometimes our brain will do weird things to protect us from that, because it's a painful or difficult thing to be going through. But it's really difficult when you have all these people around you that are supporting you. And I always have, for over 4.5 years now. But for them I didn't have a head injury, but you would think that I did because of all of the mental side effects and things like that I've gone through. And I know they're not over yet, but I'm so much more aware of them that I'm able to work with it and still keep my life in pretty much a beautiful state of bliss most of the time. And I'm just so grateful that my mom taught me this. We don't take vitamins because we're sick normally. We take vitamins as a preventative measure. Yes. And so I didn't realize that all those years I was being grateful. I was practicing for this time in my life when I would really, really need it. And I still really, really need it. And I'm just so grateful that my wiring, unbeknownst to me, was just started at such a young age. And my mom is still very much like that. So I feel very blessed that I grew up with this. And when I put together this gratitude journal, I wanted to make it so that someone who's never been intentionally grateful before or intentionally thankful for things, that it's kind of targeted. They can just follow the lines and it will ask them specific areas of their life that they can be grateful for, things that maybe we never thought about, things that, who is my favorite little person in my life, and most of us have somebody that's little, I have this 10-year-old buddy that I do things with very often. And so, there's people in our lives, and it's being grateful for what we have, but it's also being grateful for who we have.
Yes. I'm with you. I have a small friend too. I call her my little. She's 7. Oh. And we hang out on a weekly basis. We go to boxing classes. Sometimes I come over to her house and do her hair. But she means the world to me. I'm grateful for having her in my life. And I know she's grateful for having me as well, because she tells me. Right. Yeah. I'm grateful for when I get to see her and she runs up and hugs me and she's like, I miss you. I love you. And I'm just like, oh my God, I just eat it up. That energy. I highly recommend, if you don't have a little friend, as she
Mhm.
said, and a little friend, it makes a world of a difference because the world they live in is so different from ours.
Mhm.
Even though, yes, they have stresses, and yes, children have stresses. Don't think that your children don't have stress. They're dealing with life too. They're dealing with little people life. But
Mhm.
their way of viewing the world is very different from ours. And I love to be able to absorb that energy, that wildness, that
Mhm.
freeness, because sometimes they don't have a filter and they just say what they want to say. They say what they're thinking. They say how they feel. And
Mhm.
sometimes they're like little grown people, and you're like, did you just say that? But it makes a big difference, and I'm very grateful for that.
Mhm.
I'm grateful for having people in general. It's like you said,
Mhm.
people come to your rescue. I had an accident. I had an involuntary life edit in 2016.
Oh.
Was it 16? No, actually, I think it's been longer than that. It was 2006. But I'm
Oh.
still suffering the trauma from it. It seems like it wasn't that long ago. I
Mhm.
still deal with the pain in my
Mhm.
neck. Sometimes my shoulder doesn't want to operate. But
Mhm.
importantly, Kat, I can't ride in the car to save my life
Oh,
because of
man.
the trauma. But
Mhm.
what I heard in listening to you is I got some advice. I think from now on, when I get in the car with somebody else, I'm going to go down a gratitude train. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to be grateful that I'm not driving, that I get
Mhm.
to be a passenger, be
Mhm.
grateful for the car, be grateful that the car has gas and is fully functioning, be
Right?
grateful for the person who's willing to drive and their
Mhm.
skills or something of that nature. I
Mhm.
never thought about how I could use gratitude in that instance, or how we can use gratitude to almost not dismantle, but reduce the effects of trauma on our lives.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because
Mhm.
even if you had like crazy parents, I definitely had at least one. Having gratitude for
Mhm.
my mom transforms things, even though she's no longer with us. Before
Mhm.
she passed away, I want to say about 3 or 4 days before she passed away, I hit this gratitude thing with her, where
Mhm.
I just was grateful for who she was and
Mhm.
the example she set for me, because she was a wild, crazy thing. We
Mhm.
call her OG Mimi. She's the original Mimi, and she was wild, crazy, and fun. All my friends loved her. And
Wow.
I used to be sitting there like, I can't stand this lady. But my friends would eat her up alive because of her energy. So
Mhm.
I was grateful for that. I was grateful that she did whatever she could do to take care of me and my brother as a single mom. I
Mhm.
just found all this gratitude for her. And then she left me a few days later. But I was so grateful that I had hit that point before she transitioned into the next life. You
Mhm.
know, Gratitude is tremendous, you all. And that's why it's so important that we are protecting our gratitude. So we are out of time, love bugs. This conversation can go on and on, I can tell. I can't wait to see Miss Cat on stage. I can't wait for her to share her story with you in full detail, for her to really give you some nuggets to take away from your life. Because I know all of us have had some involuntary life edits that we need to transform, get through, recover from, heal through, and
Mhm.
even find gratitude for. Because
Mhm.
the biggest thing that I walked away from my accident is I learned to receive help, because I was always the helper,
Mhm.
always the helper. And I'm like you, awkward patient, awkward helpy. You couldn't help me. I'd be like, no, I'm okay. I'd have to use the bathroom, be thirsty and hungry, and still be saying, no, I'm okay. So
Yeah.
find gratitude in everything, love bugs. That is the way you can definitely become 1% better in your life, is being grateful in all the areas of your life. Any last words, Miss Cat, before we go?
I am so excited to be able to share in more detail about things on Saturday, and I promise you there will be at least 3 or 4 more really good nuggets and takeaways. So thank you so much, Mimi. I'm very excited about Saturday. Thank you.
Yes, well, we are excited and grateful to have you. So we better see you all, love bugs, this Saturday, February 5th, for Get High on Motivation Live 2022. You can get the tickets on Eventbrite. Go to my link tree. Holler at me on Instagram. If you reach out to me, I might give you a discounted ticket. So, hey, reach out to me so you can get that discount, because you need to be in the building. You need to be a VIP. So that way you can be there for the breakout sessions. Because if you're not VIP, all you get to do is see the main stage speakers, which means you get to see Miss Cat. But there are some breakout sessions that you really want to be in attendance for, and that does require a paid ticket. So make sure you get your ticket, and make sure that you share this show and tell everybody about Miss Cat. Make sure that you go to her website, achapterafter.com. And then we'll see you Saturday. So we love you. We appreciate you. We're so grateful for you, love bugs. Be happy, be healthy, be you. I am Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's favorite motivator. And this is the Get High on Motivation Show. Bye-bye.